Here on GoPSUSports.com with Coquese Washington. Coach, it's been a long off-season, but preseason now well underway. How exciting is it to be back in the thick of things?
Oh, it's so much fun. It's so much energy in the gym. It's just a lot of fun to finally get back started. All the stuff that we've been doing in the off-season, putting it together and getting ready for our exhibition game on Sunday. So it's a lot of fun.
You mentioned the off-season. How have kind of the things in the off-season shaped what the focus is right now in preseason?
Well, we're a really young team. We don't have any seniors. We've really got one junior who's got a lot of experience, and then the rest of the team is freshmen and sophomores. So it's been a lot of teaching in the off season, a lot of breakdowns, a lot of making sure they understand the whys of what we're doing. And now getting into October practice and gearing up for the games, now it's putting it all together. And I've been really pleased with how this young team is starting to come together.
For you as a coach with such a young team, how gratifying is it when the game finally slows down for them and you get to see that in the gym?
Yeah, it slows down quicker for some than others. So, but you know, we've got, I will say our junior class, those guys are doing a tremendous job of trying to bring everybody along. Amari Carter has really stepped up her productivity and her leadership in practice. Jada Green as well has really stepped up her leadership in practice, as well as Sarah McMurtry. So we're getting good leadership, and I think that's going to play out over the course of the season.
You know, you mentioned two of those team captains, Amari, one of them. She really contributed a tremendous amount. Where have you seen her kind of develop in the off season?
You know, I think her confidence is a lot higher this year than it was last year. I think last year she was coming off 2 injuries, a little uncertain about how her body would respond, and just getting back into the flow of things. This year she's playing with a lot more confidence. She's much more aggressive, and it's a lot really fun to see her starting to spread her wings in that way with her confidence being higher.
You mentioned confidence. Ending last season in the NIT, having that postseason experience, how much does that work toward building confidence, and how do you kind of keep that momentum going?
Well, you know, I think the biggest thing is it whets your appetite for postseason play. I think this team is one that got a chance to experience postseason play last year. Now they're hungry for more, and that's kind of fueled our workouts. It's kind of fueled their individual growth off the court and on the court. I think because they want a little bit more.
When you think about the Big Ten, obviously ending the season last year on a high note with a big win over Michigan, I'm curious, what is the strength of the Big Ten like this year?
Oh, I think the Big Ten is unbelievably strong, top to bottom. You know, you start with Ohio State. They bring pretty much everybody back from a team that won the conference championship. And, you know, they've got, you know, a fantastic player in Kelsey Mitchell. I mean, she's virtually unguardable. I mean, she's an incredible talent. But, you know, you look at every team, and one of the things that's really stands out about our conference is dynamic guard play. You know, you look at Maryland, and they've got really good guard play. You look at Michigan, and Caitlin Flaherty is, you know, a superstar for them. And Tyra Buss at Indiana is a difficult player to guard, and you know, and then you get to a team like us, and you know, we've got Amari Carter and Tania Page, and so I think the guard play in the conference really stands out, and that's what makes it difficult every night, is because we have such good guard play.
You mentioned the guard play, but what do you look for in terms of maybe not necessarily so much recruiting, but progress in terms of what type of play you'd like to see from your guards this year?
Well, you know, I'd like to see them continue to be aggressive, and be full threats, score, pass, defend, be threats in all phases of the game. And I think that's where the growth will come with both Tania and Amari is being dominant in all phases of the game.
If I move back a little bit more big picture, we see things like Coquese's drive. We see the incredible impact of the pink zone game here. I'm curious for you, how important is it not just developing student athletes on the court and in the classroom, but being members of the community as well?
It's critically important. You know, one of the things we talk to them about when we recruit them is that we're not just interested in winning games. And if that's all they want to do is come here and be in the gym and win games, I don't know if this is the place for them, because there's so many resources here at Penn State we want them to avail themselves of. We want them to understand that being a Lady Lion is a big deal. And you've got a platform and you've got a voice, and we're going to help you figure out what you want to do with that platform and how you want to use your voice. And so we do that holistically as a program with Coquese's Drive, and we do that with the Pink Zone, and then we do some smaller events throughout the year but the emphasis really on them developing their own voice and developing their own way of having an impact in the community and in their community, however big, however small that is. And so we try to lead by example in that way, that we're not just going to focus on winning games, we're going to focus on having an impact in our community, and hopefully, you know, we win games as part of what we do as part of this community. So, you know, those things are critically important, and fortunately we've got a team full of young women who embrace that ethic and embrace that ideal, and so it makes for a good marriage with myself and the players.
And speaking of yourself, my final question for you today, heading into year 11, I mean, you've seen so much in terms of your tenure here at Penn State, but how has this program changed, and how have you changed as a coach?
I think I'm a little more patient. I think. My players may not say so, but I think I'm a little more patient. And I think, you know, overall, I think I'm more a part of the State College, the Center County, the Penn State community. You know, when you first get here, you know, you kind of dive in and you know, focused on the program. But over the years, it's been really good for me and my family to become entrenched into this community. So, you know, that makes every year that much more special.
Well, now that you talked about your family, you know, I've actually got just one more. You know, you have a staff of women who are mothers.
Yes.
How do you encourage that work-life balance, and, you know, encouraging, you know, being, you know, pursuing your career as a coach, but also being a mother and a wife as well?
Well, you know, it's interesting. What I try to model is, you know, there's not my Lady Lion family, my personal family. This is my life, and this is our lives, my family. This is what we do, and I try to encourage them to do that. So, you know, there are days when we have days off, I'm like, get out of the office, go home. You know, we bring our kids to practice every day, and, you know, you see them running around. I just think if you try to make it a part of what you do, and not try to separate it and compartmentalize everything, if you're fortunate enough to do that, you know, that makes it all worthwhile, and you're able to do it. You're able to be a mom, you're able to be a wife, you're able to be a coach, you know, if you try to blend it all together.
Well, thank you so much for your time today, Coach, and we
Thank
look forward
you.
to catching you this season.
All righty.